Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I thought I'd do a 2-month update, so for my baby and for myself postpartum. The first thing that I wanted to share with you guys, you saw from my previous video, the 1-month update, Elena got sick quite frequently, so she got sick a couple of times, and so what we've done as a result is that we've actually stopped Emily's daycare from at that point until now, and we're probably going to send her back about 4 months postpartum, just because we kind of just got a little bit over everyone getting sick so frequently, and so we thought we'll get a little bit of a break from that. So that has been interesting, like having everyone at home. And if you guys watched my previous videos, my previous vlog, which is a day in the life of 2 under 2, you can see that kind of routine that we're starting to get into as a family, and with myself being with the 2 girls by myself, and it's been overall good. I want to say 80% good. We've had our tough days. I'm not going to pretend like every day is just like smooth sailing and everyone's going to sleep with every nap and everything like that. That's absolutely not the case at all. I do have tough days where I'm like, oh my goodness, like, can someone please come help me? But it is not an option. Usually they're the Mondays. I think why we struggle on Mondays is because we're just so tired from the previous week and the weekend, because usually we have full-on weekends, and so on Monday we just want to rest. Well, I want to rest at home, but it is not an option because everyone is a bit overtired, and when we have been at home, Elena's kind of not really sleeping and Emily gets bored and I'm just tired, and it just goes into shambles a little bit. So I've been making the effort of going out every day in the morning portion, because it just seems like it makes the day so much easier and everyone fits into the routine a lot better. So in this month, Elena got her 6-week vaccinations and also her 6-week check, and thank God everything is well. Her measurements are going well, her weight's going well, and with her vaccines, she got the Rotavirus Vaccine, which is the oral vaccine, and she got 2 vaccines on each leg as well. And I was a bit nervous getting that because it did not go too well with Emily. She got really bad belly aches from the rotavirus one, so this time around I did ask my mom to come help us with it, but I felt like she coped really well. She coped really well with the actual vaccine. When she got it, she cried honestly for like 2 seconds, then I cuddled her and she settled right down, and yeah, she did really well as well afterwards. Like, she slept well. Her tummy did ache a little bit, but it wasn't something like too horrendous. She wasn't like crying over the top or anything like that it was a bit too hard for me to handle. She did really well, thank God. She's still being exclusively breastfed, which I'm so proud of, that I've still made it this far. I know most people think, you know, if you haven't made it to at least the 1-year mark, like, you haven't really put in that much effort, because that's what I experienced with my first baby. But honestly, it doesn't really come too easily to me, and I'm really happy and I'm really proud of myself that I made it this far, because yeah, as I said, it doesn't come too naturally to me. And at her last weigh-in, she was 5.8 kgs. So she's doing really well and she's putting on good weight, and I'm really proud of her. And her sleep is going really well. So during the day, she's feeding approximately every 3 to 4 hours, and at night she feeds approximately every 5 hours. We are getting into a little bit of a routine, so she eats during the day every 3 hours, so every 6, 9, 12, 3, 6, and then 9. So I do the dream feed at 9 o'clock rather than 10 o'clock, because I find myself, if I do it at 10 or 11 o'clock, I'm just exhausted and I just cannot wait till that late. So I do it at 9 o'clock and I'm asleep at around 10 o'clock, and that works out really well for us. And then she wakes up at around 2 o'clock, and then she wakes up at 6 a.m. She has done a couple of times where she did like 6-hour stretches, but it's literally only been a couple of times, so it's nothing like too regular. I'm really like happy and I'm really grateful for the stretches that she's doing, and I cannot complain because I just do not want it to change. I don't want her to revert back or anything like that. I'm just so happy with her sleep and her feeding. This journey overall has been so much easier than the first time round. I'm not sure if it's like the easier baby or I'm more experienced, or she just has to fit right in, because I have a toddler, so I don't really have too much time to like carry her and cuddle her, and I try to as much as possible, but you know, you obviously cannot do as much as you do with your first baby, because you just don't have the time, and you have another little person that you have to look after and feed and still change nappies and, you know, play with and all that. So yeah, the only time I really cuddle her is when she is breastfeeding, and a little bit after that, and before she goes to bed, I cuddle her to sleep. And she did start smiling like a little bit earlier than you are meant to, but this month she's definitely been smiling lots and lots and lots. Emily, should we try and make Elena smile? Eita ready to smile, Luada. Eita ready to smile, Luada. Lots of smile. She does like a little baby giggle, which is really cute. Like when you talk to her, she giggles. She loves watching me. She likes watching me do anything. She loves watching Emily and I like sing and dance, and she giggles and smiles, and it's the cutest thing ever, and she feels included. I've really learned to kind of do all activities together, so they're not exclusive to Emily or Elena. You know, if I'm doing something with Emily and we're singing, then I kind of sing with her, and I sing to Elena as well, and they both feel included and they feel like they're having mommy time. Did not come easily to me, did not come naturally to me. I have been trying to practice that I am doing both at the same time, because I tend to not be able to like multitask too well. Obviously motherhood has really forced me to learn how to multitask, because it's just what motherhood is. You know, you're trying to settle someone, you're trying to feed someone, you're trying to change someone while someone is crying, you're trying to bath someone, you're just trying to do everything at the same time. So you do get taught that like very quickly through motherhood, but I definitely need practice. In bath time, I feel like she absolutely loves it as well. I think the water kind of reminds her of the womb, and as soon as she gets in, she has cried like a couple of times initially for like 1 or 2 seconds, but then she gets into it, she loves it. She doesn't like the water being too hot. She actually likes it like quite lukewarm. Like I think it's quite cold, but she just loves it. When I have it warm, I think that's when she tends to cry a little bit, but when it's like a bit warm, not too cold, she just loves it, and she likes like floating around, and we sing and we play with the water and we talk to each other while bathing her. My sister's still really obsessed with her. I think it's worn off a little bit. Like it's not as exciting as it was once before, where she was literally all over her all day every day. She still loves her. She still has the regular kisses going back and forth. Is Elena doing tummy? Emily, she's not a headrest. Emily, thank you. Oh, thank you, Emily. No, but leave it. She's using it. Thank you. Now try put it back in. Yes, and yes. Now leave it, because she's using it. Thank you. It has dampened down a little bit. I think it's out of her system, and she loves like tickling her and cuddling her, and she really wants to carry her, but you know, she's obviously too little to do that. I still cannot trust her to do it. I think they're getting along so well, and she does love her sister, and she does also give her lots of smiles and giggles. The one thing that I have noticed that has been quite interesting is that I caught her a couple of times actually watching TV. Now it is not great at all. It's not something I'm proud of, but I did leave her in the living room with the TV going in the background. It wasn't even kids stuff. It was literally like my videos that I like watching. It was like YouTube vlogs. I looked at her, I noticed swerving her head like towards the TV and like watching, and she does swerve her head towards like noise. So I like to play a little game with her. I put her on the couch, then I go on this side and I talk to her, and she turns her head, and then I go behind or like on top of her and I talk to her, and then she turns her head towards me. So she does swerve her head towards like noise where there is action, where there is light. So like I'm a little bit worried that she's starting like the addiction like a little bit early, where she just likes TV. We don't have TV going on during the day too much at all. We fell felt like it was negatively affecting her. So she went from watching like no TV at all before Elena came, when it was just me and her. We would play all day, we went out, like maybe she watched the odd TV like for like maximum 20 minutes in the afternoon while I was cooking, but most of the time, even when I was cooking, I'll have her on the learning tower with me, and she would like play with the water and like help me cook, and then she went from there to many hours, I want to say up to 2 hours in a day, which is significant. Like, I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad about, you know, letting the child watch TV, because I completely understand why you need to, especially when you have more than one child, because you just need to get stuff done. You get held up with the second child, you know, you need to feed them, you need to change nappy, and the first one, you know, wants to eat, they're bored, and so like it's just like a nice sort of like babysitter. But anyway, we found that it negatively affected her. She was getting like quite whiny, and just like not herself. So we were like, okay, we're gonna go through different variables and see what makes a difference. We thought maybe she's sleeping too much, maybe she's sleeping too little, maybe it's TV, maybe she's not getting enough like mommy and daddy time, all that. So we went through the variables, and that was the thing that made a huge difference. We went from like lots to zero. Like we went for like a week with zero TV while she's awake. We still watch TV, but not for her, and that made a tremendous difference. And she was back to herself, and she was happy, and she was playful, and she was still like her cheeky self. Anyway, this is not an update for Emily, this is the 2-month update, but I digress there. Elena's just slotted right into her family, and she is the chill baby, and she's just doing really well overall. For myself, I want to say that I feel really good this time round. Don't feel like super dead every day. I feel like we have some sort of routine, and that keeps me sane as well. Like, I love routine. If I don't have a routine, I struggle. If like the day is completely mumbo jumbo, which you guys know like it usually is with newborns, and it was, but because we have some sort of structure, I feel like I'm thriving a lot more. Question that I've been asked like quite a bit, which is like the baby weight. I know it's something that is of interest to a lot of people. I obviously haven't like lost the baby weight at all, and to be honest, I'm not too worried at losing it at this stage. There's a lot going on for us, and I have 2 kids, and I'm breastfeeding, and you know, the breastfeeding and the sleep is the biggest thing for me. I can't work out if I'm feeling tired, and I can't, you know, cut down on calories or anything like that, because, you know, to lose weight you need to be in calorie deficit while I'm breastfeeding, because I found when I did that, I can't find like a good balance where I know where to stop or like how much to eat, where I don't lose my supply. So I'm completely not worried about it at the moment. I'm just going with the flow. I'm not worried about it until I stop breastfeeding and I'm sleeping through the night and I'm regaining energy, until I start to decrease my calorie intake and start exercising. I did try to exercise a couple of times, and it was literally the biggest joke. Like, you guys, it was like literally like the most embarrassing, not embarrassing, I wasn't embarrassed, but it was the biggest joke. Like, we cracked up laughing like for so long, because I have like no muscles. Like, when I say I have no muscles, like I went through 2 pregnancies like straight after each other, and I did go to the gym after the second one, and I semi like got into shape a little bit, but not back as to what I was. Now I have like no muscles. Like, my body is just like dead after like being pregnant and then breastfeeding, like being pregnant and breastfeeding. Like, it's been a lot over the years. So yeah, I have no muscles. When I did exercise, I could not even complete the workout, and my legs hurt for a couple of days. Like, I had run a marathon, and honestly, I did not work out for that long. Like, it was like 10 minutes tops. Like, it was really not that long. But anyway, I'm not too worried about it. I just wanted to experiment, and yeah, I just want to get back to being strong. Like, I'm not the type of person that worries about like weight, like number. I know it's so stereotypical because every video I watch now everyone says that, but legitimately, like, I don't worry about it too much anymore, because I once did, and it's really bad for your mindset. the main thing you should worry about is, first of all, like your health, like actually eating well and being balanced. Like I'm not saying like 100% eat well. Like you guys have seen what I eat in a day while breastfeeding. It's like I follow that 80-20 rule, which is like 80% eat healthy and 20% you don't, because it's life. You know, you cannot eat well all the time. You know, you have a social life. I mean, lightly, when you have 2 under 2, you don't really have a social life anyway. But you know, if you want to go out for a nice meal, you want to eat a nice meal. You don't want to eat, you know, grilled stuff. I mean, you can if you want to, if you feel like it, but I don't want to feel like I have to and that's my only option. Like if I want to have like steak, I can have steak. If I want to have ribs, I can have ribs, you know, whatever it is, and have like a drink with it, like whether it's like juice, like sugary drink, you know, it's not really the healthiest, but yeah, anyway, the 80-20 rule, and try to exercise because I want to be fit. That's my main thing. I want to be fit, you know, and I feel also I need to really be on that because I have 2 girls, and you know how it is for us females, like a lot of pressure is to be like a certain size or, you know, certain weight and all that, and I don't want my girls to be into that. I want them to be, you know, be healthy, exercise, and like Bob's your uncle, and like honestly not really worry about people say and like people's opinions, because from my experience I feel like anything you do people would disagree with. Like if you are like too skinny, you know, people are like, you're too skinny, like, you know, you don't look healthy, you need to like put on weight. And if you are into the gym and, you know, you're lean, some people would say, oh, like you're too muscly, like you're not feminine, blah blah blah. It's just do you, seriously. And that's everything else in life, not just about weight and body. So just do you. Again, I digress. But I'm gonna end it here just so I don't keep chatting and talking. So that's it for today's video, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like because that supports my channel, and please subscribe because I upload new videos every week. And I'll see you next time. Bye.